Hello, students and my friends. Yeah, so today's Wednesday. It's the mid of this week. We'll have two more classes to go after this class. Those classes will be on Thursday and Friday. That is tomorrow and day after. Tomorrow again, we'll bring up some amazing RCs. I hope you people are safe. You people are doing well. You people are happy and smiling. So smiling is very important. Staying happy is very important. Staying joyful is very important. Uh, so sometimes I also want to talk about, or maybe we'll talk about in this class, starting itself, ki, um, sleeping 7 8 hours, at least more than 6 7 hours is very important. Eating 4 times is very important. Uh, Exercising, walking, going for a walk or for a run or for a yoga or a Zumba or a dance class, extremely important. And if you're having some problems, some stress, sharing it with others, sharing with your family and friends, going out for short walks, some small hobby if you can develop. In weekend, if you can go for a ride or somewhere, like these small techniques can sort of elevate our mood, and they can have a great impact on our. Um, so I think, yeah, sleep and exercise and food, I think they are extremely important. Then food ke andar mein there are a lot of things. Eat healthy, eat this, you don't eat that. Then within sleeping there are a lot of ways, and within exercising there are a lot of ways. But then in general, if you are taking care of all these three aspects, your sleep, your food, and your exercise, then things will fall into place, and you will get more ideas of how to improve them further. And so that is the thing. And from exam standpoint, I don't think you should be worried a lot, because COVID has sort of made it difficult for everybody to focus. Difficult for everybody. The people across the world are in the same situation as yours. Just utilize whatever 50 40 days you have in front of you. At least do some questions every day and solve one full length CAT mock test, either on the India level test series, or without any mock test which is not compared with others. Just see your performance, analyze it, work on it, such that there is improvement in the next. And you look at your performance, see where you have gone wrong, and then work on those weak areas. So if you are going bad in RCs, solve more RCs. You are going wrong in a particular kind of a question points, solve that question more. Understand why you're making those mistakes, which option you are marking. Is it calculation mistake? Is it related to word meanings? Is it related to that you are not making summaries properly? Is it because you're worried about something else? Something is bothering you, basically. So being aware of your, so when you are writing the examination 7 8 times or 10 times before the actual actual test, naturally your level of confidence will be very high when you write the actual CAT paper, right? So yeah, we will try to sort of bring in certain aspects which will make the reading comprehension easy for you. Bring in certain effects, certain new ideas and new methods, which will, and we'll do it practically. We'll not talk about it. It's all hands-on right now, right? So there's another thing, that this Sunday we are doing a special class on your doubts. So below this video, you'll find one link for the Unacademy Just Cat Telegram channel. Join it, and then post your doubts there. We'll take up your doubts there. Also, you can post your doubts in comment section. Also, there is no, and you can also let us know if there are any topics which you want us to do. Please let us know. Also, The idea is that we are today evening also. Sorry, I just remembered. Today evening also, I'm doing a special class, special live class on reading comprehension. Um, Wednesday today 5 p.m. I'm doing another special class on reading comprehension, where we will again just look at reading comprehension in a slightly more different way than we do it every day. Do it in this class. Some new, not that they're any better, but fresh perspectives which people may not be able to bring in the classes, because of they may look at it differently. People may not be able to express it clearly, but certain things which others are not doing, which it will be happening in our classes. So 5 p.m. So there are a lot of special live classes which are free of cost, for which you do not need to pay anything, and you just need to download the Unacademy app and you need to install it. That's it, and you can observe. You will go to CAT, stay there. You will get a lot of free live classes, and there's a lot of quizzes also in that. So my name is Anupam. This is all what I've achieved, and then basically I have more than 3,100 hours of CAT training experience, and trained more than 3,500 students for CAT. And if you look at my overall experience, and it will be double of it. Like I have done almost 7,000 hours uh, training, overall verbal ability training, and other management entrances and banking, GRE, GMAT, and then train almost double, almost 8,000, impacted lives of more than 8,000 thus far. And at the same time, I have also I have a unique position uniquely in a way that I can also develop questions. I have also developed questions for GMAT previously. So in that way, I have also done that work. I know how to teach, and I also know how to create questions. Unique, actually, a lot of. And I'm fortunate to have this unique positioning. Uh, Unacademy Learning app, please download and install it. Go to Plus, go to CAT, and subscribe. We've got these 5 offerings in front of you. Anything more than 6 months makes sense. 1458 a month for 12 months, and 875 a month for 24 months. You also get EMI options on 6. So this is the EMI I'm talking about. You get on 6, 12, and 34-month subscription, or if you use the code Saxena Live, that's when you will get these prices, because the pricing will come down to 15,750 and 18,900 for 12 and 24 months respectively, wherein previously they were, before discount, 17,000 something and 21,000. So after applying discount, they come to 15,750 and 18,900. So 900. So this pricing, irrespective of the numbers, this whatever you choose, I think this pricing with the kind of quality and content which we are giving, and the kind of intent which you're showing, and coming on time, and being punctual, being preparing our slides, and trying to deliver content to you free of cost. I think this also represents a kind of commitment we have, and I think Unacademy subscription is a great. It will add a lot of value to your career and to your growth. So yes, let's try and do some questions. Let's try and do what we have come here for. So it says, when researchers at Emory University in Atlanta train mice to fear the smell of almonds, when researchers at Emory University. Let me see if I'm coming online or not. All right, just want to move my camera a little, just to say that you can also. better now? So so when researchers at Emory University in Atlanta trained mice to fear the smell of almonds by pairing it with electric shocks, they found to their consternation means amazement, that both the children and grandchildren of these mice were spontaneously afraid of the same smell. That means what they're saying, that there was an element of surprise. That means they weren't expecting this result. Scientists were not expecting the that the children and grandchildren mice have same fear. As they have. That is not supposed to happen. Generations of school children have been taught that the inheritance of acquired characteristics is the same thing, right? Same thing they're saying, that the entire that they were, why they were surprised, they were surprised because this was something which they it was opposite to what the science believed. It was opposite to what the scientists themselves, the researchers, they were also got surprised that that these children and grandchildren, they were also fearing the same aspects which their predecessors were also, they were the same fears. Now the problem is and why this is happening, because generation of school children have been taught that inheritance of acquired characteristics is impossible. They saying that to uh, to in inherit certain qualities which are acquired. Acquired means something which the previous generation had learned in their lifetime. Acquiring such characteristics, it's not possible. Okay? And now they give an example that a mouse should not be born with something its parents have learned during their should not be born with something its parents have learned during their lifetimes, any more than mouse that loses its tail in an accident should give birth to tailless mouse. So they're saying that learning something that that inheriting so what they're trying to say, that this entire, if you summarize it in simple language, will be that inheriting acquired or traits is not possible as far as the popular understanding goes. It says that, Achha, now I'll show you how to do it quickly. Now I'll show you how to do this in a faster way. Okay. So we'll do it properly, but we'll do it faster. How do we do it? Modern evolutionary biology dates back to a synthesis that emerged during 1960s, which married Charles Darwin's mechanisms of natural selection with Gregor Mendel's discovery of how genes are inherited. So they're saying that there is a, what happened, that modern biology, what we're reading, that goes to somewhere. There was a combination of ideas which came from, where that combination came from Charles Darwin's and Mendel's thoughts, Mendel's ideas. The traditional still dominant view is that adaptations from human brain to peacock's tail are fully and satisfactorily explained by natural selection and subsequent inheritance. Yet new evidence from genomics, epigenetics, and developmental biology that evolution is more complex than we once assumed. Right? So the idea here is that what they're saying, that very simply, that the dominant view is that inheritance of that inheritance can be explained by natural selection. What is natural selection? We need not know. That is, we get an understanding that there is some old view which is coming and there is new evidence which opposes it. Okay. Next, it says that in his book on human nature, the evolutionary biologist Edward Wilson claimed that human culture is held on a genetic leash. The metaphor needs revision. Imagine, or says that the human culture is on a genetic leash. And genetics are somewhere, human culture is evolving because of the leash. Culture means that the human behavior. So somewhere human behavior is changing because of our genetics. But remember what they're saying. They're saying that scientists were not expecting children and grandchildren of the mice to have same fears as they had, as they had, and as the mice had. I think that will be the correct answer. As the mice had. And in inheriting acquired traits is not possible as far as a popular understanding, as far as then it says that dominant view is that inheritance can be explained by natural selection. New evidence opposes it. Next, it says that human culture is held on a Genetic leash. There is a, like, leash is what? Leash is that uh, that rope or a string with which, we sort of hold. Generally, it's very cruel to hold an animal with a leash, but whenever they take out dog for a walk, or sometimes leash is used in terms of your cattle also, in terms of your horses also. Sometimes to control them, on the neck they tie a sort of a collar, basically, and there's a rope after it, related to it. So metaphor needs revision. Imagine a dog walker genes struggling to retain control of a brawny mastiff human culture. They're saying that dog walker, the genes, they are struggling to retain the control of a brawny mastiff. Okay, somewhere there's a person who is sort of walking the dog, and that person, is struggling to maintain. So dog walker is the genes, and there's the human culture is the dog. So pairs trajectory, the path of evolution reflects the outcome of struggle. Now imagine the same dog walker struggling with multiple dogs on leashes of varied lengths, each dog struggling in different direction. All these structures represent influence of developmental factors, including epigenetics, antibodies, hormones passed on my parents, and as well as the ecological legacies and culture they bequeath. Bequeath means what we inherit. Now what he's saying that it is that what we receive, what human culture, that is the acquired characteristics. Human culture or human behavior is is impacted by various factors. What are those factors? Like developmental factors. You can always remember them, or we can come back here to read about them. Control Z. Talk about developmental factor, including epigenetic. Let's make it a different color. Developmental factors, including epigenetics, antibodies, hormones passed on my parents, as well as ecological legacies and culture they bequeath. It is not only, and it is kept together. Some way genes are the controlling factors. So they are all, so some way genes impact, and then there are other factors also here which have been mentioned. What they're saying that received wisdom is that parental experiences can affect the, so this that the certain things which parents have learned that cannot be given, that doesn't go to the, not affect the characters of their offspring. This is being challenged. Received wisdom, that is the wisdom which you've received, and which is wrong. The way the genes are expressed to produce an organism's phenotype, the actual characteristics it ends up with is affected by the chemicals that attach to them. So now they're getting into the technical data, explaining it to them. So there are certain chemicals which attach to them, and diet, air pollution to parental behavior can influence the addition or removal of these chemical marks, which switches genes on or off. Okay, so what happens that whenever you find something very technical, something which is talking about great detail about certain branch of knowledge of which you have no understanding of, read it a little fast, because probably you don't need to understand that. See what happens that they might try and bring up some difficult topics, some difficult areas, so which you have to just have a superficial reading. You need not understand them. You need not understand them completely, because this is something. See, what is phenotype? We don't know what is phenotype, and we don't want to know what is phenotype, right? How they're switched off or not. We are not care. Yeah, if somebody asks what are epigenetic so-called epigenetic attachments are removed during the production of sperm and egg cell, but it turns out that some escape the resetting. So we can answer the question, a very superficial question, that there is something resetting and setting of genes which happens in chemicals when there is when sperms and eggs are produced. There's certain chemicals they are removed, but some of them they are not reduced, and they're saying that this is known as epigenetic inheritance, and more and more studies are confirming that it really happened, right? Let us return to the almond-bearing mice. The inheritance of an epigenetic mark transmitted in the sperm is what led mice's offspring to acquire inherited fear. So they are saying that since that there were certain chemicals which were never resetted in the sperm, that has led to mice offerings to acquire an inherited field. So we can simply, in 2 lines, we can say, so you can see that we are sort of not getting worried about whatever is being happening here, just having an overview, and we are just doing it very coolly and aramse. We're saying that very simply that epigenetic inheritance happens when there's certain chemical marks are not reset during basically. Epigenetics is only part of the story. Through culture and society, humans and other animals inherit knowledge and skills acquired by their parents. All this complexity points to an evolutionary process in which genomes over hundreds to thousands of generations, epigenetic modification and inherited culture factors over cell. So the saying is that all this complexity points to an evolutionary process in which genomes over hundreds to thousands of generations, epigenetic modifications, and so now they're talking about other factors. Now this is they're talking about epigenetic inheritance. So basically this is about the acquired wisdom, right? Remember that acquired characteristic that the mice's parents were sort of having this problem. They were fearing the almonds, the smell of almonds, and then this we were seen in the youngsters, in the offsprings also. So epigenetic inheritance, that means acquired inheritance. Okay. Then they talk about through culture, uh, now they're talking about that this evolutionary processes, that everything cannot be explained by natural selection. There, it's a complex thing. Imparting of knowledge and skills by the parents is a complex thing. It leads to uh, genomes over hundreds and thousands of generation, epigenetic modification and inherited cultural factors over several hundreds, perhaps hundreds and tens or hundreds of generation. Parental effects over single generation time span collectively inform how organism adapt. These extra genetic kinds of inheritance give organism the flexibility to make rapid adjustment to environmental uh, challenges, dragging genetic change in their wake, much like a rowdy pack of dogs. They're saying that apart from the genes also, there is culture. There are parental effects. There are acquired cultural effects over factors over so many generations. They're saying that genomes related change happens over thousands of generations, epigenetic modifications and culture generations. So they've given timeline also. Remember, timeline is also here. They're saying although it's not relevant, but they're showing timeline also. Key for genomes, it is this. For epigenetic change, this is is a change. Okay. Parental effects, there's a different change here basically over a single generation of time span. And then they say that these extra genetic kinds of inheritance give or organism the flexibility to make rapid adjustments to the environmental changes and dragging genetic in their wake, much like a rowdy pack of dogs. Same thing. See, whatever was said earlier also, same thing, that the inheritance of traits very complex, is a complicated uh, phenomenon, phenomena uh, that includes that cannot be explained by single factor, by a single. Let's see if it comes all right. Which of the following found to be true would negate the main message of uh, which of the following would found true would negate the main? What was the main message of the passage? The main message passage was that the acquired characteristics, acquired skills and knowledge can be transferred across can be transferred across generations. Also, that what traits will the offspring of a species they will inherit? This is determined by very complex set of factors, and it is not only determined by one factor, whichever it is, but it is certainly cannot be these traits which are inherited. They cannot be attributed to just theory of natural selection and by the by which was given by Charles Darwin and the Mendel. So the traditional and the dominant view that is now failing, and there is new data coming in. So basically, if it is negation, that means this idea is sort of is proved to be wrong, and the idea that that only one factor or only the theory of natural selection supports this particular inheritance, only that will come into picture. So this is the right answer. A study affirming the sole influence of natural selection. Remember how? Because author said that dominant view is that inheritance can be explained by natural selection. New evidence opposes it. Okay. This is the right answer. And 2 says here, let's see the other options also, why they're wrong. A study highlighting the criticality of epigenetic inheritance to evolution. The criticality of epigenetic inheritance to evolution. Criticality of epigenetic if epigenetic inheritance was critical to evolution, then this idea will get supported. So this will not negate it. So it is actually supporting the ideas. And hence not the right answer. Okay. 4 says a study in indicating let's read second also, a study affirming influence of socio-cultural markers on evolutionary processes. Study confirming the influence of socio-cultural markers on evolutionary processes. Then it is again supporting the ideas in the passage, hence not the right answer. Four says, okay, four we have not done. A study indicating the primacy of ecological impact on human adaptation. This will again sort of say that since ecological impact was also mentioned to be one of the reasons why there's an additional angle to why evolution happens, this will also support in a certain way supporting the ideas in the passage, and hence not the right not the correct answer. My bad. Correct answer. Next is, which of the following options best describes the author's argument? Which of the following options best describes the author's argument? What was the author's argument? Author's argument was that one single theory, one single, say, natural selection or Mendel's ideas, they cannot fully explain evolution, and evolution is related to multiple factors. Mendel's theory of inheritance is unfairly underestimated. This is actually opposite, and it's not relevant. Okay, Wilson's theory of evolution is scientifically superior to either Darwin or Mendel. So they never said that Wilson's theory of evolution was there. Wilson has written a book basically. So again, it is irrelevant information. It's in a way incorrect also. Irrelevant and incorrect. Also, if we believe that okay, when he wrote about human culture, about evolution, that is his theory, then it never said that his theory is superior. Also, saying that it is either Darwin or Mendel, that is again incorrect. So you can sort of find these answers in the very first look also that they are incorrect. Darwin's theory of natural selection cannot fully explain evolution. Yeah, this is the right answer. Okay. Now we try and sort of come and do very fast. Let's see it first quickly. We're going to solve quickly questions 4 and 3. Darwin's and Mendel's theories together best explain evolution. This is opposite to it. Incorrect. Okay. Third says that Emory University experiment with mice points to the inheritance of. Emory University experiment with mice points out to the inheritance of acquired characteristics, right? Because we were always talking about acquired characteristics. So we quickly solve this question. So see, certain questions are very easy to be solved. 4 says the passage uses the metaphor of a dog walker to argue that evolutionary adaptation is most comprehensively understood as being determined by. So this is, remember, we made in bold certain items. We color them when this dog walker theory had come up. This developmental factors including epigenetics, antibodies, hormones, ecological legacies, and culture they bequeath. Genetic, epigenetic, developmental factors, and ecological legacies. Extragenetic and genomic, these two words were never used. Ecological, hormonal, extragenetic, never used. Okay. Sociocultural, genetic, epigenetic, and genomic legacies. Socioculture was not mentioned here. Only genetic, epigenetic, developmental factors, and ecological legacy. This was mentioned. So sometimes just making some notes or some just remembering or just going back to that question. In that way also we can solve question easily. So we sort of solve this passage in a very short period of time. Okay. So that's about it. I am sort of closing the class because we have solved it earlier than we usually do, sort of reduce the time because we did it better, we did it fast, and we did it right. If there are any questions, I'd love to answer them, but I don't see a lot of people here. Yeah, so coming back to our PPT, Unacademy subscription gives you live classes. It gives you an ability to interact with the educator, live polls, and leaderboard. You get so what happens in live classes? You get to see the educator. Like I'm having a live class at 5 p.m. again. So you can ask me questions. I can take your names. I can ask you what is going around with you. You know, I can ask. So it's live. It's almost like a classroom. So in this corona time, I think this is also a classroom. It's virtual classroom, since you cannot sort of meet you cannot sit in classes full of 60. Somebody will get infected by somebody else. Although the cases are coming down, the fatality rate is reducing every day, but still there is a possibility that that people might get infected. So interaction with educator, live polls and leaderboard, test series, and analysis and live doubt clearing sessions. In live polls, what happens? We do polls. When we ask a question, we can ask polls. Test series analysis. Test series is very, very important. Test series is the backbone of your preparation. Like I said, you should solve some questions every day, and you should write one test every week, and then analyze a full-length test every week. And you also should do live doubt clearing sessions as well. So you can also refer to the code Saxena live, and you can get 10% discount. So yeah, thank you very much. See you at 5 p.m. on the Unacademy app. I'm doing a special live class. Please join me. It's a free. So there are a lot of free classes which we do, which do not cost you anything. They are completely free of cost, and there is special classes, live classes, when educators will come and they'll try and teach you something. And be amazing. You can interact, you can ask questions, you can ask doubts. It's amazing basically. So please come down and please join me. And also there are all the classes, if you do not attend live, they will be recorded, so you can look at them at a later point of time, right? So yeah, thank you very much, and see you at 5 on the app, free class, and then tomorrow at 9, and then tomorrow at 2 p.m. and then Friday also same thing, and then Sunday of course there's a special live class again on the app, for which you can, so that Sunday special class you can give your doubts, you can post your doubts in the Telegram channel link which is given in the description. Thank you very much.